Hey everyone, and welcome to a new video on Bite of Geek. Today, well, I'm doing a bit of a follow-up on the Razer BlackWidow V3 Mini Hyperspeed keyboard. I've been using this for a little while now, and there's a couple of things I'm not too keen on. Let's get into it. So I've been using the Razer keyboard now, probably up to 8 hours a day, 5 days a week. It's been my daily keyboard. I'm typing on this thing all day long, really. In the same way that I have done, I've used with my Keychron K8, and it's a nice keyboard. It's a good weight. It doesn't slide around on the desk. It's a good size. Keys are quite responsive. It's got a good sound to it. But there's a couple of things which really irk me with this, and I just kind of think, for the price that you're paying on this, it is significantly more than the Keychron K8 keyboard, or any of the other Keychron keyboards, in fact. I think, these couple of points really do let it down for me. And the first one really is battery life. So, I couldn't really, on the Razer website, I couldn't really find anything that said what the capacity of the battery was. On the Keychron website, it's really quite easy to find that information. It has got quite a large battery capacity, but the only thing I could find from Razer was kind of like the number of hours that this was meant to operate wirelessly, and I think it's something like 200 hours, something like that. But that is pretty much when you've got all the RGB effects turned off, so you've just got no lighting on it at all. And well, if you're going to buy a keyboard that's got RGB on it, that's you're wasting your money, really, if you're going to turn all that off. Whereas the Keychron keyboard, you will get, well, in my usage anyway, a good couple of weeks before I need to recharge the battery with the RGB effects turn on. Even though I tend to have my RGB, the keyboard just backlit, so it's just a static light. With the Razer keyboard, it was pretty much every couple of days this needed a recharge. It just has insane battery usage with the RGB effects turned on, and ultimately what I ended up doing was just having this constantly plugged in via cable, because it was just pointless having to charge it all the time. I think if you're just going to use this for short gaming sessions, I think it will be absolutely fine. But if you are actually going to use this for any great length of time, you're just going to be constantly charging it, and you're just like me and other people. I've noticed it on some forums as well, who've just eventually just decided to plug it in on a cable. So I think that's really disappointing from that point of view, given it is a wireless keyboard. And the second thing really is the multi-device mode. Now, the Razer keyboard actually has two modes on it, which is the Bluetooth and the Hyperspeed mode. And with the Bluetooth mode, you can actually connect this up to 3 different devices, which is absolutely fantastic. It's a real productivity enhancer. It saves lots of time. You certainly don't need multiple keyboards stacked up on your desk. But what I found with the Razer keyboard is the delay in switching between devices is so slow compared to the Keychron keyboard. And I've actually got a couple of clips of it here. So first up, we've got the switching from one device to another on the Keychron keyboard. As you can see, it's like a couple of seconds to go through. It's just the press of the keys and the flashing blue light, and then the same kind of process being done on the Razer keyboard. And I've just timed that. I think it's kind of like 7 seconds. Sometimes it's a little bit longer than that, but it averages around about 7 seconds to go and switch between your devices. And this has been updated with all latest firmware and stuff like that. And I just think that's incredibly slow. I think it's there's something wrong there in the way that's working. And I actually thought it might have been my Bluetooth adapter in my PC, because it was only a Bluetooth 4 adapter. So I actually upgraded it to a Bluetooth 5, and it was just the same. Now, you might think, okay, 7 seconds is not the end of the world, but actually, you can't use a keyboard whilst it's switching that mode. And if you backwards and forwards between devices, it becomes a real problem after a while, and it becomes frustrating. And you know, back to the original point earlier in the video, you know, this is not a cheap keyboard. You would expect that on something which is lower quality, poorer performance, but this is a Razer keyboard at a premium price, and I just find that a real disappointment. Whether that's something, you know, that they can address with a firmware update, I'm not sure. So if Keychron can do device switching within a matter of seconds, I'm sure Razer can as well. For me, the Razer keyboard's going to go back on the shelf. I'm going to dust off the Keychron keyboard and put that back into daily use. You know, don't get me wrong, the Razer keyboard was nice to use. You know, I do enjoy typing on the keyboard, but you know, I think Razer needs to have a look at these problems. I'm sure one of them would be addressable with a firmware update, if not both of them. But you know, we will have to wait and see. If it does become something that is addressable, then I will update the description down below so that you guys know about that. But for now, yeah, great, but just not brilliant, I would say, from that perspective. So anyway, guys, that's my thoughts on the Razer keyboard after me using it for my daily keyboard for a little while. You know, let me know your thoughts on the keyboard. What do you think? What do you think about my comments? You know, do those things really matter to you? You know, if you're using Hyperspeed, it's not really going to be a problem really on the device switching. I'd love to know what you think down below in the comments. As always, you know, if you've enjoyed the video, hit that like button and subscribe to the channel if you're not a subscriber already. And as always, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye for now.